The reckoning of Naomi Cartera, a troublemaking biker gang, targeted a black woman in a park, thinking they had found an easy victim. They approached her like predators closing in on their prey. But they had made a grave mistake. She fought back with incredible strength and skill, teaching them a lesson they wouldn't forget. She wasn't just an ordinary woman. She was a former military veteran, and now she was about to make them regret ever crossing her path. The late afternoon sun bathed the Greenville Community Park in a golden hue, its warm light casting long shadows over the paths and swaying trees. The park was alive with the comforting sounds of everyday life. Children's laughter rang out from the playground as they raced each other on swings and slides. Joggers moved to the rhythm of their steps, and couples strolled hand in hand, enjoying the tranquility of the moment. Naomi Carter sat on a bench near the edge of a small pond, her silhouette framed by the shimmering water. The worn leather of her jacket rested neatly beside her, revealing a muscular frame beneath a fitted navy blue shirt. Her simple jeans and sneakers gave her a casual appearance, but the faint scar running along her forearm told a different story. Naomi's sharp brown eyes scanned her surroundings, not out of suspicion, but from instinct, honed over a decade of service as a Navy SEAL. This was her ritual. After years of high-stakes missions and the relentless grind of military life, she had found solace in the stillness of the park. Here, surrounded by the simple hum of life, Naomi felt a fleeting sense of normalcy. But her senses, sharpened by years of training, were never entirely at rest. A jogger passed by, offering a polite nod. Naomi returned it with a faint smile, her gaze lingering for a moment before shifting back to the playground. Her mind, though quiet now, always danced on the edge of alertness. She noticed details others missed: the uneven shuffle of an older man walking his dog, the rhythmic sway of the trees bending to the breeze, and the faint laughter of teenagers by the basketball court. It was one of these details that unsettled her. A group of 4 men gathered under a large oak tree on the far side of the park. Their presence didn't immediately strike Naomi as unusual. People often lingered there to talk or rest. But something about their body language put her on edge. They weren't just chatting or idly relaxing. They were watching, scanning the park like predators surveying their territory. Naomi's years in the field had taught her to trust her instincts, and right now, those instincts were sounding a low but persistent alarm. The leader of the group was hard to miss. He was tall and broad-shouldered, his shaved head gleaming in the sunlight. He leaned casually against the tree, exuding a confidence that bordered on arrogance. His black hoodie and faded jeans seemed ordinary, but the tattoo snaking up his neck hinted at a history that wasn't. Naomi noted how he subtly gestured towards his crew, directing their attention across the park. Her bench. She realized then that she was their focus. Her heartbeat remained steady, but her muscles tensed. She adjusted her posture slightly, maintaining an air of relaxed calm while her mind began to assess. Asterisk 4 of them asterisk, she thought. The leader, strong build, likely experienced in confrontation. The second, wiry, with a patchy beard. Nervous energy, but eager to please. The other 2, young, maybe in their early 20s. Cocky. Their swagger betrayed the overconfidence of inexperience. Across the park, Mason Tank Walker, his real name long discarded in favor of his reputation, nudged the man beside him. His lips curled into a sneer as he nodded toward Naomi. "That one," he muttered, his voice low but laced with derision. "Sitting there all smug like she owns the place." Patchy Beard chuckled, cracking his knuckles. "Think she'll put up a fight?" Tank smirked. Let her try. They always do. As the group laughed, their voices sharp and mean, Naomi's eyes briefly met Tank's. Her expression didn't falter, calm, unbothered. But the moment their gazes locked, she knew they weren't just troublemakers looking for a quick thrill. They had chosen her deliberately. Their hatred was as tangible as the warm breeze, and they had no idea who they were dealing with. Naomi shifted her weight slightly, her arm resting lazily along the back of the bench. Her breathing remained steady as her mind worked quickly, running scenarios, evaluating her options. She didn't want to escalate, but she also refused to back down. Asterisk, let's see what you've got, asterisk, she thought silently, her lips curving into the faintest of smirks. The men began to move, their laughter growing louder as they crossed the park toward her. Passers-by noticed but quickly looked away, unwilling to involve themselves. Tank led the way, his stride slow and deliberate, while Patchy Beard and the younger men flanked him like wolves closing in on their prey. Naomi didn't flinch. Instead, she adjusted her position, leaning forward slightly to rest her elbows on her knees. She exuded a relaxed confidence, knowing that any sign of fear would only embolden them. The wind carried the scent of cheap cologne and cigarettes, marking their proximity. Tank stopped a few feet from her bench, his boots crunching on the gravel path. His smirk widened as he took her in, calm, unflinching, but in his mind, still vulnerable. "Afternoon, ma'am," he said, his tone mockingly polite. "Mighty nice day to be sitting out here all alone, don't you think?" Naomi looked up slowly, her gaze steady. "It was," she replied evenly. "What do you want?" Tank chuckled, glancing back at his crew as if she'd told a joke. "Now that's no way to greet friendly folks just out for a chat." Patchy Beard leaned in closer, his yellow teeth visible as he grinned. "Or maybe she's one of those types, Tank, thinking she's too good to talk to us." Naomi's eyes flicked between them, her expression unchanging. She noted the way Tank's stance shifted forward, how one of the younger men adjusted his grip on his belt. They were posturing, trying to intimidate her into submission, but Naomi had faced far worse. "I'm just minding my business," she said, her voice calm but firm. "Oh, we'll mind it for you," Tank drawled, pointing to her leather bag beside her. "That's a nice bag. Bet it's got something good in it. Why don't you be polite and hand it over? We wouldn't want things to get messy." Naomi's lips twitched into a faint smile. "Polite?" she echoed, her tone laced with irony. "Is that what you call this?" Tank's smirk fell. "You're funny," he said, stepping closer. "But I don't think you're listening. Give us the bag, or we'll take it. And maybe something else, too." Naomi stood slowly, her movements deliberate. She adjusted the strap of her bag over her shoulder, her gaze locked on Tank's. Though shorter than him, her presence filled the space between them, her confidence unsettling the group. "You've made a mistake," she said quietly, her voice steady as steel. "This isn't going to end the way you think it will." Tank sneered, his fists clenching. "We'll see about that." The tension in the air was palpable. They had no idea what was coming.